Saturday, everyone. I thought I would make a soup share Saturday video. So, those of you that watch YouTube over the years and have seen me out there know that I like to share. One of my hobbies is to make it work with food. Make what I have in the cupboards in my refrigerator really stretch and see how many meals I can get out of the least amount of shopping. So I'm not ashamed to say that I get food stamps once a month. And I was talking to several people recently where they were, food scarce people that really have food needs. And one of the things I realized is a lot of times they don't cook. I like to batch cook. They don't cook. I had a couple of friends of mine ask me, do you eat? What do you eat? Well, here's some of my rules for being on a budget, how I make it stretch. I buy fresh vegetables and I buy some frozen vegetables. I keep some frozen vegetables in the freezer. I really do live on a lot of soup and stoups and stews, and I don't use processed cans that cost a lot of money, other than I'll have a few emergency cans of maybe some low sodium chicken broths, or no salt diced tomatoes, or maybe some canned chichi beans in the house, or cannelli beans, or organic black beans. I might buy some of those things, and then a couple of bags of frozen vegetables. I usually have a bag of frozen spinach in the house and frozen thin green beans, because I find I can use them for a lot of things. There's my thin green beans. So I haven't been to the store yet. I get my food stamps on the 4th. And I really didn't feel well. I thought I'm either going to throw what I have left of my vegetables and my fruit into a smoothie, or I'm going to make soup. The soup it is. And so what I had was 1 can of College Inn chicken broth, 50% low sodium, 99% fat free, and 1 can of no salt diced tomatoes from Wegmans. That there came to about $2. I had 1 package for 99 cents of fettuccine. You could go to the store and buy these specialty noodles, like the already broken noodles, and you can pay up to $2.49 for your noodles to be packaged and broken. Or you can take your noodles, make them homemade, or you can just break them up. And you've got, for $1, you've got $1 less, $1 and some change less, you've got your broken noodles. Okay, so what I'm hoping to make out of this is 3 separate meals. What I had in the refrigerator was 3 potatoes, 3 carrots, 1 onion, 2 celery stalks. What I had in the freezer was a bag of frozen spinach and 3/4 of a bag of frozen skinny green beans. What I also had in the refrigerator was $1 worth of pancetta, which is Italian bacon. I had used that to make a meat-flavored potato soup without adding the meat last week. So I had about not even an inch of pancetta. I only had a tablespoon of olive oil left. I didn't want to use it. I only had 1 stick of butter. I didn't want to use that. So what I went scrummaging through my refrigerator, and what I found was that I have a little piece of the heel on my Pecorino Romano cheese. So I cut a little piece of my Pecorino Romano cheese, which is going to give it a really meaty and salty, nice flavor. And then the pancetta is going to render the fat. So for flavor, I rendered down my pancetta, chopped it up, and then I cut up my carrots into like stew vegetables, that size. And then I started parboiling my potatoes whole. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with them yet, or what I wanted to do with the green beans. Eventually I decided to toss my potatoes in there and my green beans. To my vegetables that were sauteing in my pancetta fat, I took the pancetta out, let them continue to cook it rendered about 2.5 tablespoons of pancetta. Grease to that, I added 2 tablespoons of flour. Started to make a roux. To that, I added my 1 can of chicken broth, low sodium, 99% fat-free, no additives. To that, I added my no salt diced tomatoes. To that, I took my noodles that I had already decided to chop up and cook. I drained them into a separate container so that I would have the starchy water. And to that, I added starchy pasta water to my chicken broth and my diced tomatoes. To that, I added a bay leaf. In there was the little heel of the cheese, or what is called the grind of the cheese. You could spend money and get it, but if you already get a piece of cheese to grate yourself all the time, then you have that little piece of cheese, and it can go a long way in soup for flavor. So, my tips are: buy your beans and soak them all the time. Keep a couple cans on hand. Buy a couple bags of frozen various vegetables just to have in the freezer. And don't use a lot of canned and processed and boxed things. And you don't have to buy the specialty noodles. And always have a carcass or some bones on hand so you can make a bone broth. So this turned out to be 3 meals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 9 by 11 inch pan right there. I'm going to butter that with my butter. And I'm going to take these noodles here, and I'm going to take half of those noodles, about 2 cups of noodles. I'm going to layer them in the pan. And then I'm going to use a, I'm going to use this. And I'm going to take some of my vegetables out, and I'm going to really drain it good like this with a slotted spoon. And just put some of my vegetables over the top of the noodles in a casserole dish. And then on top of those, I'm going to whisk my 4 eggs that I have left over with a little bit of milk and a little bit of water in it, and some crushed hot pepper, and some nutmeg, and salt and pepper. I'm going to put that over the top. And then I have just a little tiny bit of mozzarella sticks. I'm going to grate those on top of it. I'm going to bake that at 400, and I'll have an egg bake casserole, which can serve 1 slice with a salad or some soup every day. I can serve the rest of my soup over, which I'm going to serve it up right now because I haven't eaten. You don't need a lot of noodles. Just need a little bit of noodles because it's a really hearty stew. It's got potato in it. So that ought to be good right there. And then just a little bit of, it's a little green, but that's okay. And I want a little carrot in there, so there you go. Then you have soup. So you have soup, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake a loaf of bread, and sometime during the week, this will become when I'm done eating the egg bake, and I'm getting tired of having noodle or just plain vegetable soup, I will take and put it over some toasted homemade bread and have like a chicken vegetable fricassee. So that's all you got to do. Just get in the kitchen and see what you have in your cupboards and in your refrigerator and use it all up. So that's my share. That's my make it stretch healthy food share. Enjoy. Thank you. Bye-bye.